Dude, really? I knew I died of this wave. This wave sucks. Fucking self-centered argument. As a verifier, you need to be how good. You need to be concerned with how good the level is, not your own fucking journey. Your journey doesn't fucking matter. Don't make your journey good at the expense of literally everyone else's. Yes! Get fucked! Get fucked! Fuck you, dude!
Let's go!
Fuck you! I tried editing this video in the normal style, but it was just genuinely unwatchable. So instead, let's do what I did for precipitance and crowd control and talk through just my thoughts on the level, go through it. This is going to be a lot, because I've got a lot to say, because there's a lot of bad things. First up, as you can see, these spikes are all fixed hitboxes because of the decoration choice. These small things make these spikes all fixed hitboxes, which I don't like. This first click, I don't like. It's kind of a lot harder than the rest, which is just not good. Don't do hard first clicks. This pink orb is very much determines how much you can live. Like, if this pink orb if you click this pink orb wrong, then you're just screwed. These are all meant to be buffers, but sometimes you're too high, like that. Like, after this pink orb, it's all meant to be buffers. Sometimes you're too high like that. Sometimes you're too low when you hit that spike even, which is not good. And also these blue portals, sometimes if you click the orb wrong, this isn't too bad an example because you can buffer, but if you click the orb wrong, that happens for pretty much every single blue portal here where you just die. Like, I'm just dead. Like, make these all buffers. This blue portal needs to be angled in a way that means they're all buffers. Sometimes you can land too late in this pink orb and just not be able to live. Like, that death isn't acceptable. Again, rotate the blue portal. If you do these blue orbs in a certain way, you can land too late to be able to live this jump. Like that, which is not good. Again, that's probably also mainly because these are fixed hitboxes, which they shouldn't be. This pink orb just is really hard. This is like the one click that's hard in the pre-drop, not because it breaks half the time, but because it's actually hard. The rest of the pre-drop's completely free, except for, as I say, the fact that it just doesn't work. Like, that one pink orb's just a random choke point. I don't like it. It shouldn't be this hard. Like, shouldn't be able to die to this spike. The way this click is set up, it signifies to the player that this is the spike you're avoiding, not this spike. It's not fun. These spikes prevent you from hitting the pink orb in some of positions that you would be able to otherwise, which again, I don't like. This wave sucks because of the moving objects. Again, like, you can be, they'll just move into, and that death shouldn't be a thing. Like, there should not be a spike up here, and that slope is not good, and that should not be marked off. Like, there's nothing signifying well with that. It just, like, move this slope over there so that it's the same width as this, and that's fine, but there it just looks like you die to random nothing. And again, this black spike thing here should not exist. Like, yep, I'm dying because of moving objects there. I was going up, I should not be dying. Like, that should not be a death in the slightest. And then we get to the first wave, which is the worst part of the level. You can see in the transition, this spike, and this is repeated throughout, this spike is bigger than the other two spikes. I didn't even notice that that spike was smaller than that spike, but this needs to all be one. This gap is so frustrating. It's way too tight for no good reason. Like, this spike shouldn't be this big, and these spikes should all be the same size. This spike, as you can see at the top, is bigger than the rest of the spikes, so you can be going up through this gap and die, which is not good. Like that shouldn't be a death. But like, you can also die to that spike for some reason. Like, the only spike I should be dying to is this first spike gap right in the beginning. Other spikes I should not be dying to. I can't appear to get it in speed hack, but you can also be too close to this and die as it moves down, which is really frustrating. Like, all of these full-size spikes should not be here. Like, they just should not exist. There as well, like, these bigger spikes are just placed in so with uncaringly for the structures. This click here is another instance where this spike being bigger than the other ones is really annoying. And then you get to the mini wave, like, and just look at these, all of these invisible saw hitboxes make this so annoying, because why not just add invisible saw blades in it? And this click, again, this spike sticks down, makes it annoying. This being a double click's unnecessary. This platform should just extend all the way there. This being a double click's really awkward, especially because of this random spike there. It's possible to land there doing this jump. You do this jump early, you land on the corner like that, and then you just die, which is fantastic. Like, come on, man. This wave sucks because of these things moving. Like, they can move into you. This transition's bad, and also these spike gates just move the structures down, don't have spikes on the walls like that. Then you go up too early there, and that just moves into you and you die, which is just really annoying. Like that, come on. The only reason you're forced to double click is because there's an invisible saw blade here for some reason. Like, just make it, why do that? Just, at least don't make it invisible. Now, this transition into the UFO is bad. It's dependent on your positioning in this corner. The further to the left you are, the earlier you have to click in this transition. If you're really far to the right, you have to click really late. This isn't a block, which would actually help negate that fact a lot. Like, if this was a block, this click would be so much, this transition wouldn't be perfect, but it would be a lot better. And this UFO is annoying because there's nowhere to land throughout any of it. If there was, it just means you get really misaligned as a result. That size portal kills you, which is not good. You just get really misaligned throughout this UFO, and it makes it really annoying. The only place you can interact with blocks is there. This transition into the ship, just look at it, it's awful. It's just this click into this ship portal. It's also blind, which makes this beginning really hard because these spikes are impossible to see when you're playing at full speed. Like, because the screen's black. This slope at the beginning of this ship is really annoying because, again, first of all, you can't see it, and B, it just absolutely screws your momentum entirely. Like, you go click and click, and then you're just flung up into the ceiling because for some reason there's a random slope there. The rest of this ship's just really awkward. That moving object bounces you, so if you hit it, sometimes you just get bounced up like that, which is just not good. This spike being here makes this already bad portal click, screw portal clicks, even worse because you just go into the spike. It should not be a thing. That spike originally was higher up in the corridor, so that wasn't a problem, but that was moved down, which just makes it awful. Why is this spike here? It shouldn't be. It just makes this click stupid. This green orb set up into this ship just doesn't work well. Sometimes if you're too high into this wave, that happens. Or maybe that's just if you click before the portal. You shouldn't be able to click the green orb before the portal. You get spat out at random heights depending on just how early you buffer the green orb, which you can't even buffer properly because you're a wave half the time. And then sometimes you just die there, like, fantastic. That's not even to mention this spike with the slope hitbox. Why does this have a slope hitbox? That just makes it really annoying. Again, a lot of these things with the hitboxes, like the hitboxes in the first wave, the invisible saw blades, or this, you don't need hitbox viewer. It didn't exist when this level was made. You don't need it to find this. Like, you're going to interact with this spike, get flung off, and be like, oh, that's a slope, that shouldn't be a slope. Like, come on, man, please. This spike being a slope makes this part so much more painful. There aren't even D blocks here, so you have to jump, which is just stupid. If you go down too much as this click, you just miss this blue portal, like I showed then, which is just not good. Like, you should not be able to miss the blue portal at all. Like, that's not acceptable. This slope moves into you, which is, again, not acceptable. Like, that's just not an acceptable death to have. I do wish this saw blade wasn't there blocking it off, but that's more minor. Your positioning into this UFO is determined by how quickly and where you do the jumps, which is horrible because these saws don't rotate for some reason. No one was bothered to fix these groups not being assigned correctly. So you just end up dodging invisible things. And then these slopes are inverted, making this even more annoying because you can hit your head on that and just bounce into this saw blade. Again, you don't need Hitbox Viewer to figure out either of those things. Like, oh, I'm hitting my head on nothing. This slope's probably inverted. Oh, I'm just dying to literal air because why? Oh, maybe I should check and see that these aren't assigned to a group. Same thing with this saw. Like, come on, please. This UFO is the worst example of no playtesting I've ever seen. Like, please, playtest. That should be found in 1 second. These spikes on these platforms are just practically impossible to see. Like, that spike is so invisible. Like, there should be more indication that there's a spike there than just that. It should be visible. Like, I know when you're playing it, you'll know that, but come on. Same with that spike down there. You can barely see that it exists. Like, this needs to be more visible to the player. I think that's a 2.2 bug, not the level's fault, which is unfortunate. These first two clicks are really awkward. They're not actually, it's not actually due to, they're just awkward. I think they're not that good. At least it's not due to bad playtesting like a few other clicks here. Like, this should not be down here. This black structure should not be able to kill the player. These hitboxes suck. There. This saw blade sticks out further than these spikes, which is really annoying. That hitbox there shouldn't exist. Neither should that one nor that one. Just makes it, again, makes the click just tighter than it should be. Just like poor visual alignment. If you do these really early, you can die to that click, which has happened to me, not through doing it slow down like this. That's happened to me normal like gameplay. That really shouldn't be a death. And then this wave's just bad because of all the objects that move. You just get moved into so often because it's just impossible to predict where any of the objects are. It's harder for me now because I'm used to it. Like, that moving down as much as it is, it's still a problem, but you get more used to it. That happens! Like, that transition should not be able to kill you at all. That moves into you, like, come on. These saw blades aren't aligned. Like, you can miss this saw blade, hit that one, miss that. I think you can miss this saw blade and hit the one above it too. How you enter this blue portal determines whether or not you're going to be able to live this click. Like, if you enter it too early, you just get screwed over by momentum when you do that click, and you have to adjust, or just sometimes I think it's just genuinely impossible to live. This transition's annoying because of this saw blade. You've got to do this weird click here, and just know that there's invisible pink pads to help you, except sometimes they just kill you like that. This blue portal, if you do this wave click wrong, this blue portal that is there to supposedly help you just ends up just screwing you over because you hit the blue portal after you become a cube and hit this yellow portal, so you just die, which is horrid. Like, so you either have to click this timing really early before you actually hit the blue portal, or just do this wave timing extremely early so that you hit the blue portal first. This blue portal shouldn't be here, and this should just be moved over more, or just organized better. This blue portal should be higher up or something like that, just so that you don't get hit by this blue portal and die. It's hard to actually see, but this spike has a black outline, which is almost impossible to see when you're actually playing the level. Same with this spike. Like, that's part of the spike's hitbox. That just makes it really harder and makes this spike have a much bigger hitbox than it actually seems, because again, you can't actually see that the spike is that big. It looks like the spike ends at this red hitbox, not this darker outlined hitbox here, which is not good. And that's Kenos. It's a shame because with good playtesting and better balancing, because the first wave is half the difficulty and the wave after that's another 20%. And with the pre-drop being so boring, if those were fixed, this level would be actually really fun. But the bad balancing with the waves being as hard as they are after extremely tedious pre-drop and the awful playtesting just means this level's unfortunately so horrid to play. It could have been a lot better, but it wasn't, and it's really disappointing. But anyway, with that done, that's 200 extremes. I have 200 extremes now. That's why I beat this in the first place with my 200th. So yeah, anyway, with that done, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.